We know we needed to bring in at least 4 or 5 players, right? But it was vital that 4 or 5 wasn't turning into 7, 8. Because if Virgil and Trent and Mo were to leave, then you're looking at realistically, and let's be honest here, guys. We're looking at 2 players to cover each one of those. That's how good. That's the levels they're operating at. Because you ain't replacing Virgil van Dijk with just one other. You
No,
ain't replacing Mo's
no,
output with just one other.
no,
Do you get what I mean? So you
no.
would have
They
had
are.
to add, and beat their scores by aggregate, and that means 2 players. You can imagine 2 attackers getting Salah's numbers, but there's no way on this earth you're finding one attacker to match those
It
numbers. Do
would
you
have
get what I
been the
mean? So
hardest job, Grizz. It would have been the hardest job for.
impossible job, I'd say.
Yeah, it's so difficult to do. And I think that was always the fear. So I didn't even want to think about it. So that's why I've been telling people, don't get too hung up on the contracts. Let's enjoy the season first. But now you can enjoy the rest of the season, folks. That's the great thing about this is these last 7 games now, get behind them and really go for it. So I really hope we sign some, good players this summer. I hope we really sign and take the squad to the next level. So next year we're even better. Imagine a faster and a fitter squad, especially at the back and up top. We could do with some more pace up top as well. Imagine that in a team like this with Slot, it'll be even more lethal than it is, Grizz. It's just there's a lot to as good as we've been, we can still be better than this.
I've got absolutely no qualms in admitting that we're not even the best Liverpool team in recent times. There's been this narrative from rivals saying, "Oh, it's been the worst. We're the worst champions ever." A, I
Yeah.
couldn't give a shit, right? I couldn't give a shit. But B, what does that actually mean? Like,
Wait, one minute. We're not the worst champions ever, for one. This is just other clubs. Look, if we're the worst champions ever, your current teams are absolute dog shite then. Why did you let the worst team win? How can it be the worst team when it's only
makes
lost
no
twice in
sense.
a season? It's
But if you
nonsense.
look at you,
Numbers don't stack up with the worst champions ever.
it
Okay?
doesn't. They just don't.
Arsenal have won the league with low 80s points, right? This team's going to get way past that. So let's not even talk about that. And the title's already over, really. It's 7 games left, and everyone's like, yeah, we're just focusing on the Champions League now. So you tell me how that's not a shit team. That's a very good team that gets to that point. Takes advantage of all the other weaknesses in everybody else's season. We were the most consistent. It's brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. We had the best player in the league, Mo Salah. We're the best defender in the league. And Alisson's the best goalie in the league, in my opinion, as well. So
There's no doubt.
at the end of the day, when you've got the best players, you're going to win the league. It's not our fault Man City grew old and lost their DM and they were dependent on their DM so much. It's not our fault Arsenal got so many injuries because their manager keeps overplaying their players.
Ole makes a very good point. Ole makes a very good point because history books don't discriminate who are the best champions or the worst. It just says league
Number
title
one.
winners, and it will say Liverpool league title number 20, and that's all. That's all we care about. But you're right. Look, I think the first and foremost thing that Slot needs to inject in this team moving forward is pace, and I've been adamant on any platform that I've spoken about. Like, I think we have become from one of the most electrifying teams on the break transition to actually a very slow team, Gags, overall. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Well, I thought the start of the season we looked good in terms of pace and power, and I think as the season's gone on, we've tired, and now we look like we're running in treacle sometimes. So I think it just needs a few more younger legs in there with quality, pace, so that can help with the power. Yeah, I really want a power midfielder, as well. That would be really nice. So I just think there's a lot we could improve on and we can add to. And let's be honest, Szoboszlai is not slow. Diaz is not slow. Gakpo, when he's galloping, is not slow. These guys aren't slow, but they just feel it at the moment because the energy is a bit lower. Ibu is not slow. Van Dijk's not slow either. So there's pace in there, but we just can't. It doesn't feel like it right now. But I bet you once they've got that buzz going and when they're fresh in the new season, He'll be back again. We just need to not use 15 players. We need to use 21 players next year.
I
He
think he
needs
will
to have,
learn that. I think he will
yeah,
learn that though.
that's right. Yeah, he
It's
needs to
been a
have
very
a lot more a squad that he trusts.
well. We look Mohamed Salah situation. Everyone's done content on it, and everyone's spoken about it, and we've done shows on it as well, and you've done shows on it, and we've all spoken. Yeah, exactly. Midnight Talk says, "Let's hope the league shite next season."
Absolutely,
Yeah,
love
yeah.
it. That's the right comment. Like,
Look,
who cares?
Mohamed Salah now gets a chance to break pretty much his own records that he's been breaking. Like,
I think he's
imagine.
got a chance of being second in the Premier League all-time list, and he's got a chance of being second with Liverpool
I,
as
I,
well.
I
And
think there's a very good
that's
chance.
insane. That's insane in 10 years, Grizz.
Yeah.
Okay, so here you go. You got a question from Samuel. Thank you very much for this, Samuel. We appreciate the super chat. Hi, guys. Thoughts on the Konate situation?
No panic.
No.
I think it's a domino effect. I
Yeah.
think, like we discussed about sort of certain players or sort of the senior players wanting to see what the situation is, the next level of player would have been looking at the senior players and saying, okay, I'm going to wait what happens with the big dogs before I commit. I think Ibu will be fine, and I don't think Ibu is going absolutely anywhere. Um, I think it's advanced. I know there's some journalists that think that it's not advanced or it's close. I think differently. I think it's a matter of again when, not if, with Ibu as well. But let's
I
hope.
agree with you. I think the whole squad has been together on this. I actually think even the the players that were re-signing were together, like Mo and Verge must have helped each other on, all their agents must have worked together as well on this, because they've timed it themselves and they've put themselves in a great position of power with the club. They know they
Yeah,
couldn't lose them. And so they've probably advised all the other players as well, wait for us to sign until we're not announced, don't sign your own contracts. So everyone's probably been in the same position where we'll wait. We'll wait until those two are done. If they're staying, we're staying. Then because it's that big. I
it's
think
a
the
bit.
trust is that the leadership is that much. Mo, you look at Mo now compared to Mo when Mo was with Sadio Firmino and all that. He was like the third one because he would say they've been here longer. Now you look at Mo in the Liverpool the training videos. Everyone's around him at the coffee bar, in training. They're all talking to him. He's basically like a captain of his own right. Obviously, Verge is the big one. They all listen to Verge, and you can see he's the alpha male. But Mo's the popular one. Mo's the one they want to play with. Mo's the one that they want to have banter with. You know what I
Well,
mean?
this is and Ali obviously makes loads of points. He makes about 100 points a minute, but
Mm.
sometimes he comes out with a good point that we can have a conversation about. The vice captaincy, Mr. Gags Tandon. Obviously, the current vice captain is a certain Trent. It's very. It seems apparent, or it seems like he's off.
Hmm.
Um, what do you think? Which direction do we go with the vice captaincy? Now, let's talk about the nominees. No, I think you're nodding like it's a foregone conclusion. But
It
if it
is.
was a foregone conclusion, it wasn't the first time round. Why wasn't it a foregone conclusion the first time round?
No, because I think the scouts from the team was always looking to be the captain, or at least if that's what he's told the club was going to help him stay, then that's And if Verge isn't ever playing, unlucky for Trent, Verge is always playing. Um, he was going to be the next captain in line. Now, with him going, it makes sense for the scouts from the team to be the captain at one point as well. Like Gerard, if the dream was always to be Gerard, then that would be the way you'd go. Obviously, that's not very true because it seems like he's been planning to go. But Mo should have then always been the vice if this was known, but the club didn't know. He's pulled wool over the eyes there. But now there's only one choice. These two are the big dogs of the squad. They are the standard bearers of the squad. Robbo is not a standard bearer anymore, right? So,
Alisson?
no, I don't think Alisson can be a captain. I think he's a standard bearer, of course. He's the greatest, one of the greatest goalies in Premier League history, as far as we're concerned. We've had that debate before as well. But I think you need players that on the outfield to do this type of stuff. And I really would want Mo to be vice. So if Verge isn't around or isn't playing, then Mo gets the captaincy. He's wanted it the whole time. He's wanted it. It's one of his things where he said, "Yeah, I'd love to be captain. Give me the armband." You know, I think he deserves the respect as well.
Oh no, he's
Oh,
got the respect. I don't think he needs a title as such, like a vice captain, to have the respect. I don't think that will change much in terms of the levels of respect for him. But yeah, I think it's natural. It's
yeah.
a natural process to have Virgil and Salah. I mean, when Trent was made vice captain, I'm going to be very very honest with you. I didn't like that move from Klopp. I didn't agree with it at the time, and I didn't think Trent is anything remotely like a leader and a captain of this football club.
No, I
Um,
agree.
hmm.
Yeah,
Cam,
I agree.
our very own Cam Branch, a good personal friend of ours as well. He's in
Good
the chat.
shout.
He says Alexis McAllister for voice captain. Let Mo do Mo. People, let us know what you think should be the vice captain moving forward. I don't think it's an important appointment as such. Do you?
No, but I think it's a good shout. I think it does give respect to somebody though. Being vice captain makes you the next in line to be captain. Maka could be a great shout. Yeah, Maka could be a great. I mean, I love Cam's shout there. And let Mo be Mo. But if Mo wants it, I
Mo,
would.
Mo wants it. So this is going to be key. You're
Then you give
absolutely
it to Mo, man. If Mo wants it, it's already a team of captains, Mr. Wah says, and that's a great point as well. A lot of them are international captains, So,
right.
yeah, look, all of
We've
these
got, you're
guys
right,
are
we have
agreeing.
got a lot of leaders and captains in the team anyway. Naturally, a lot of international captains, from Robertson to Bradley to Sobozalai, to Allison. No, Allison hasn't captained Brazil, I don't think. But yeah, all sorts of captains and leaders. I think Allison's captained Liverpool before. I'm sure he's had the armband for some period or a
Yeah.
game or two. I'm sure. But look, amazing news. Just the boost we needed. We bounce into West Ham. Obviously, before we look at West Ham, um, a few further links, and we're going to have at least 3, 4 links a day to players now because this is the way we operate. This is the way of the social media, and we know, and clubs know, and agents know that Liverpool need at least 4 or 5 players. So therefore, players will be offered left, right, and center. We will be scouting players left, right, and center. Today's news, major news in terms of reliable information, is from David Ornstein again, who says we have spoken to the reps uh, of Huijsen of Bournemouth. Um, your thoughts on the player? So we know he has a £50 million release clause, which is well within our range. We like that range. We like release clauses, and he will absolutely be in our wage bracket as well. Now, couple of questions from that. What do you think about the player? What do you think about the fee? We've got no choice because it's a release clause. And are we able to give him enough minutes considering the other centre backs we've got currently? And how would you go about resolving that?
So I'm going to be completely transparent with you here. I've only watched him when he replayed him, and I only watch really highlights of the other games. I don't watch full 90 minutes. I have a very busy life, if I'm honest, Grizz. I want to dedicate my time. My football time is Liverpool time only. So football aficionado, I've not been one of them for a long time. I'm more focused on my day job and my family. I'm an older man now, so I'm not a kid who gets all the time to spend watching football. But from what I hear from likes of you and others, and he's a very good player. So would I be interested in a very good player? Yes. 50 million sounds steep, but that's the market. Kirk's 50 million as well. Steep. Are we really going to pay the same team as well, right? Like, are we really going to spend 100 million with one team? I don't know.
Kirkers won't be 50 million.
Okay. So
Kirkers will
90
be in the
million.
region of 35.
Okay. Are we going to spend 85 with one team? We might do. But I mean, if Real Madrid were interested, then I'm interested as well, if you think of it that way. But yeah, I mean, I think he'd get time. Ibu does get injured, and we need to rotate at the back. We shouldn't be overplaying them at the back. We should be rotating them very regularly. And with Verge getting older next year, I don't want Verge to play 100% of games. I want him to play 85 to 90 of the games, because we need to start to know what it's like without him for some games, like the ones where it's not a massive team or whatever. Exactly, Ali. We need to future-proof VVD, and we need to future-proof Mo as well, that they can last the 2 years. So I think we need to buy quality, Grizz. And if he is quality as much as everybody's saying he is, then we should be going out and getting it. And we've complained before about prices and things like that, and not got, well, we should have, why didn't we just spend the extra 5 million, in the past? And if that's the case here, then spend it, bring him in. And if he's brilliant, he should be brilliant for us. That's what I'm interested in, is signing very, very good players to improve this squad and make sure we are challenging again on all fronts. Now, I don't think a Kwanzaa's going to be here next year. I don't think a Gomez is going to be here next year. So sign him. We're going to need.
No, I can't see us getting rid of Kwanzaa and Gomez. No chance. Again, that's too much upheaval. That's way too much upheaval, Gags. No chance. I can't see it. I can see one of them. I can see one of them being moved on. I personally wouldn't move on either. But I think if that's the way we only bring in Huijsen, I want to say so be it. But I'd rather not him coming in and replacing a centre back. Now I know it's reality, and we have to face reality sometimes. But I've been having a conversation offline with Sam Maguire. If you guys don't know Sam Maguire, he's a very good writer.
How can you not know Sam Maguire?
Writes for a lot of platforms, including Anfield Index, I believe.
No, in the past he was.
In the past.
He was. Yeah, he was the prodigy from Anfield Index. We really.
There you go.
Yeah, he started here.
I messaged him in private about a week ago saying we have met with Huijsen's reps and what your thoughts on him. And his initial reaction was, I'm not sure about his dual success rate aerially. Even though he's 6'5", he's a monster. He's an absolute 6'4". He's an absolute monster in terms of height wise, but he's not the most physically commanding. But he's 19, 20 years old. That will come. But when the news broke, because obviously Sam just ignores when I say I've heard. That's me and Sam's, relationship and friendship. So, but then when Ornstein sort of mentioned it as well, I went back to him and I said, have you changed your mind now in terms of this player? And he said, look, I'm still worried about his aerial ability to win duels. And we normally go for people with far, far higher success rate than him. He was telling me about sort of how Virgil and Konate have always been duel winners throughout their ages, So he was apprehensive about that aspect and that aspect only. But in terms of the price, in terms of the wage bracket, in terms of future potential, in terms of his ability, I think this is as close as you're going to get to a no-brainer, Gags. I think 50 million release clause automatically gets him. I know the likes of Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United, and Liverpool and Real Madrid are in for him. Now, that's a high caliber of club there.
Well, exactly.
And like you said, if all these clubs are after you, there must be something about you. I do like him. I actually do like him. I get the physical side of things, but I think that will come with time, with maturity, and obviously filling out. I don't think he's filled out enough yet, completely naturally as well. So I'm up for that. I've got a strong feeling that we make this happen. I genuinely think we make this happen. I think he could be one of the earliest signings of the season, but one to keep an eye on for absolute sure. Is there any other names? Is there other names that you? Oh, so obviously moving up.
Samuel L's put in a super chat, so let's answer this one first, Chris, if you don't mind. Any ideas who would be Salah's future understudy? I think they can't afford to put an understudy in for Salah if he's going to play most of the games.
It's a tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a tricky one. Can you remove that Saeed fella from the chat? I wish I had access. I would do it for you. Yeah, he's just making silly comments left, right, and center. It's not needed. We're trying to have a football chat here. But anyway, yeah. So big up Suj. Suj is in the building. Let's
get
bring up
to
Sib's
John.
comment.
Big up Gags and Brother Grizz. Hit the like and subscribe, people. As a football fan, glad Salah is here. We need to keep the greats in the league. That's an Arsenal fan again, folks. Thank you very much, Suj.
But there is respect from other clubs about Salah staying in the league because you want to see the great players in the league,
Yeah,
right?
you do. You do.
You know,
Absolutely.
it is a thing, and we saw that the fullback from Nottingham Forest, forgot his name now, Aina, I think it's Aina,
Mm.
who was like, oh my God, Salah staying, the world's in trouble. I mean, that just shows you that the respect and levels of what people think about this guy. It's not only us Liverpool fans; it's present players that are
But
thinking, oh my God.
players, honestly, opposition players will be like, yo, he's leaving. It's going to be an easier game against Liverpool this year. Every defense, when Salah's coming on the pitch, they're all like a bit nervous. What the hell is he going to do this time? How's he going to make us look stupid this game? It's a real thing.
Yeah,
Mind
I know.
games.
That's it, yeah.
Just a player turning up is mind games. So
Yeah, I think it's huge. Psychologically,
was it Ibu? It was Ibu that said, every team that plays us, that's the biggest game for them. That's the biggest game for them. You can tell when they turn up, they don't want to be embarrassed by us. They'll go to play other games and other teams, and they just roll over because they're not as arsed. But when they play Liverpool, they're the most arsed right now. Or they have been while Konate has been here. It feels like every game's a challenge because they know the world's watching this game. They know if I need to make a name.
It's a chance to make every player when he plays Liverpool. It's a chance. It's a window of opportunity. It's a chance to make a name for yourself. Oh, do you remember? I don't know. Name a random player. Anyone. Just Oh, do you remember when X scored against Liverpool? Breaking their unbeaten run or whatever, or stopping them from winning the title. You know, it's it really is a thing. I don't think it's fantasy. I don't think it's a myth. But opposition fans, when they play Liverpool, opposition players, when they play Liverpool, they do raise their game. But that comes with the territory.
Yeah.
We need to be used to that and accept that.
We've been exceptional with it this year until the turn of the year. I think what was it? I think the Under Pressure lads on AI. If you haven't ever heard the Under Pressure podcast, you'll learn a thing or two. Make sure you do listen to it if you're a subscriber, or try and catch a half an hour free if we still do that on YouTube. I'm not sure. You'll see that on the free side though on Apple. But we won, I think, 90 to 95% of the sprints, or maybe we won every game for the sprints up until January the 1st, right? Since January the 1st, Chris, how many games have we won the sprint? What do you think against the opposition?
Since January.
Yeah. How many times?
Okay. Forgive me first that I haven't watched this episode, so I
No,
can't be
that's
cheap
fine. You
because I'm
don't have
watching.
to. I don't expect you to listen to everything.
And
It's just a guess.
since January, did you say?
Yeah.
How many games have we played?
20 games. How many do you think we've won the sprints in?
8.
3.
Wow.
So what I'm trying to say is, when I
Wow.
keep saying to you guys all the time that we needed more legs in Jan, because I could see this was coming. We did this last year.
Wow.
We're lucky that it hasn't been a drop-off like last year, like a crazy one.
You've
But
killed me.
the point is, we won every single game almost up until Jan in the sprinting. So we were outworking everyone. So we were battering them. And so everyone's like, oh, since January, we've been a bit shit. Well, yeah, no shit, like they're a bit tired. So to be actually still doing well till March again, it was really good. And they've secured pretty much the league by then now. But that's because the rest of the league too. Next year, that might not be the case. So we need some legs. We really need players that he can trust. I wish he trusted Chiesa. I wish he trusted Elliot. I wish he trusted Wataru more so that we could save. And I wish he didn't play Ryan so much that he's a shadow of himself in from November.
Well, that's going to be addressed ASAP. That has to be. If that doesn't, then Slot will go down in my estimation as one of the greatest coaches of all time.
You have to.
No, I've got him right now. No, for me, he's the greatest coach of all time right now.
Ryan Gravenberch is completely different to the player he was in October, November. He was awesome. I haven't seen him do a turn in midfield since the new year. You know those turns that he was trademarking in the first half of the season? I haven't seen him take one like that this year, 2025. Why?
You know what? You've absolutely smashed me with that stat, Gags.
Yeah,
I'm blown away with that one. Um, only 3 games we've won the sprints.
yeah. We are getting outworked by everyone. Why do you think we lost the Carabao final? They outworked us completely. Why do PSG? PSG was shit until Jan, and since Jan, they've been amazing. So they've done the opposite trajectory. So they knocked us out.
Yeah, well, we need to address that. That is, yeah. Do you know what? This is why, guys, you have to be subscribed to Anfield Index because this kind of information and data is what these guys do. So make sure you go out and check out Anfield Index and subscribe. Look,
We got
the
another
next
super
team.
chat from
Oh,
Samuel.
go on.
Sorry,
Samuel says, I feel like we will go in for Xavi
come on.
Simmons, another Dutchman playing in Germany at the moment.
He's good though. He looks good. But I think I've only watched like the highlights on Twitter
Yeah,
for him.
I know. But the thing is, what do we
Sign the
do?
boy.
Yeah, but if we sign him, I feel as though it will be Harvey Elliott replacement. Now,
He
I'm
plays
not
a
ready
10,
to.
right?
Yeah, I'm not ready to. Well, he can play on the left. He can play as a 10.
Because then Dom
Um,
can be your midfielder, right? It's the legs in the midfield, which is better.
now, this is the more sensible option. I think a big tactical change. It's weird saying this though, Gags. We've just fucking won the league, bro. How can we suggest tactical changes when the guy has blitzed the league?
Because we know
We
that the
don't know.
league. No, because we know the league will get better. We know Man City will get better. So, well, we hope they don't. Let's hope they don't. Dave Hendrick doesn't think they will, but
I
let's
don't think.
say,
I don't think they will. Yeah, I
okay,
don't think.
fine.
I think it's also Arsenal again.
Arsenal might get better because they'll still throw money at it, right? Now, we want to make sure that we match that get better as well then,
100%.
right? So I want to win it by 11 again next year. I want to win it by 12 again. I don't want a 1 point title race. We've done that 4 or 5 times and lost
I
them.
don't give a
I don't
shit.
want
Yeah,
to be in
people are
that
bored.
shit again.
You know what, Gags? People are bored. I want it to be boring. I want to win the
I want
title
to be
every
boring. I
single.
want to win it by March. I don't give a shit. I just want to win. I don't want these late last day wins. It's too bad for the heart, man. I'm old. I've done that shit and we lost them enough times.
Xavi Simons, look, with regards to respect to that super chat, thank you again for the super chat, Samuel. Xavi Simons is a great little technical player. Not for me, though. I'm sorry if that's not what you wanted to hear, but he doesn't do it for me. Now, that doesn't mean anything. You just
So
asked for
Sam
my opinion.
Maguire,
Yeah, you just asked
Sam,
my opinion, and I've given my opinion. So he's a great little player, but not for us, for what I think we need. I think we need raw pace and one-on-one ability in terms of an attacker and someone who's very strong and technical ability um, in midfield. Sam Maguire, I moved on from it. Yeah, he tweeted me and I said, I tweeted him back. I said, haha, I won. And and then he said, he tweeted back, said, okay, I retract my statement again after this post. So
cheeky bugger. That's
yeah,
what he is.
so it is what it is.